It's late September, which means it's the height of seed setting season. And I'm here today to show you folks what fun it is and how easy it is to collect your own seeds for next year. And you can collect seeds of annuals, you can collect seeds of perennials, you can even grow things, bushes, trees from seed. It's not that hard. But the first thing you got to do is have the seed to grow. So I'm going to show you what I do, and I do, believe me, thousands and thousands of seeds every year. So first I'm going to show you some of the types of seeds that are ripe now. Like I said, this is the height of seed season, but seed season actually starts June for the spring flowering thing, so it pays to keep an eye out. But right now you can go out into the wild and you can get, this is Joe-Pye weed, and these are the kind you see floating around. You can see there's a breeze today and the wind just carries those little seeds off. But those are the seeds, those little teeny tiny with like a little parachute on top. So that's a seed dispersal mechanism, so the wind will carry them and distribute the seed around the countryside. These are really easy to grow. They're everywhere, very easy to collect. You can get stuff out of your garden, like my friend Annette Schrader, another volunteer gardener host, brought me these lovely jewels of opar, they're called, Talinum. And you can see each one of these lovely little multicolored capsules is a seed, has seeds in it. And as they turn kind of beige, you crack those open, they'll crack in half and little seeds will come out. That's easy. Here's something everybody loves, which is flowering tobacco, nicotiana. And look how tiny the seeds are of this. They are like little tiny, it's almost like dust. But boy, you have this in your garden, you almost don't have to grow it from seed. It comes up everywhere. But if you want to grow some and give some away from your friends, it's very easy to collect out of these. When these capsules turn brown and start opening at the tip, they're full of that seed. And look at how much seed is just out of a few capsules. Thousands and thousands. It's amazing. Of course, in nature, a plant sets a ton of seed because only one in God knows how many make it to maturity. But we can grow as many as we want because we control the process. Here's another interesting seed. This is a really popular spring flowering plant called baptisia. I don't know if you can, I'll hold it near the mic. Sounds like a little baby rattle. This is a member of the pea family, and you can kind of tell because of the pods. And inside the pods, what you're hearing rattle are all those, there goes a bee around my face, all those little tiny dry seeds inside. Easy to grow from seed. And great, and a lot of fun too. And they're easy also, sometimes if you haven't done it before, it's easy to grow larger seed. Baptisia is a good choice. Another very popular plant, coneflower. And this is a coneflower seed head. And coneflower is prickly. You might want to wear gloves if you do this. The seed is that beigey stuff that's coming out. All the rest of that is chaff. Coneflowers are like that. And also, this is Goldsturm rudbeckia seed head. Same deal, little gray seeds down in amongst that chaff. Now I'm going to show you what you do when you collect these seeds. There are several storage mechanisms that are useful. This is really a good one for home seed growers. These are called coin envelopes, and you can get these at any office supply store. I get them locally, and they're really fine for you just plop the seed in. Make sure the seed is dry, by the way. And then write on it what it is, seal it up, store it in. I store mine in a fridge. I use you can buy those plastic shoe boxes at big box stores like Walmart or whatever. And I just make dividers for A to Z. You don't even have to do that, depends on how many seeds you have. And I just store them alphabetically in there so you can find them when you need them. Now, if the seeds, this was nice and dry. You saw how those popped right out of there? But if your seeds are a little moist when you collect them, this is where lunch bags are your friend. This seed, you can see I've written on here what I collected. This is milkweed seed, and you can see there's a little of the floss that milkweed is so famous for. As a matter of fact, did you know that early in the Second World War, they used that lighter than air floss in life jackets to help as a flotation device? Little piece of tidbit trivia there. But these seeds were a little moist when I collected them. There was a lot of dew on the seed pod. So I'm putting them in this bag and I'll leave them there for about a week. That'll dry down. Any moisture that's on there will evaporate off. Then I can store them. But you don't ever want to put away anything too wet, because when you put it away in the wet and the cold, it'll either rot or sprout when you don't want it to. It's also time to start collecting. You can see here some oak. These are acorns. This is water oak. I don't know if you can see them in there, but you can see I've written on there what they are and where they came from. Great time to do this. So I showed you the coin envelope. Another great way to store seeds, and a way that I frequently do, as I just showed you, is Ziploc bags. Boy, these are my best friend. I store most of my seed in this. Of course, I'm storing some significant volumes. But even if you're not, it's really handy, and you can write in a Sharpie on these very easily, as I've shown you, and on that oak bag. And it's really handy. It keeps it, there's a little bit of oxygen that actually transpires through this plastic, so it's not a complete seal. That's good. Your seeds need some oxygen. You'll notice this is not a freezer bag, which is a thicker plastic. This is just a storage bag. And if I'm only storing them for a year or less, this is what I use. If you think you might need to keep your seeds for longer than that, use freezer bags, because they do last longer. I use the gallon bags for bigger seeds. Now there's a whole category of seed that, like this. This is off of a Sweet Bay magnolia. This is a tree, and magnolias, every type has a variation on this theme, which is this seed that come out on these interesting little threads. Birds, by the way, love magnolia seeds, so you sort of have to beat the birds to the tree. But any seed that is fleshy like this, that has a meat around the seed, you need to get all that fleshy stuff off of there. And the reason is because there's a germination inhibitor in the flesh of the seed. In that orange part are chemicals that keep the black seed from coming up, from sending out a little root and starting the little plant. But if you've got a bunch of them, what I do is I put them in water, and that's what this little jelly jar is here. I just put them in water and I let them sit. And I'll go through and pop all of these out. I won't do it on camera, it takes too long, but basically I'll clean all of these and drop them into that jar and let them sit in a warm room temperature is fine. Let them sit there. What'll happen is they'll start to ferment, and the flesh will start coming off of those seeds. I'll pour that off. I'll renew that water with clean water a few times and do it through a screen and rub it a little bit, and they'll come completely clean. Then I dry the seed. They're ready to store or put into stratification, whatever you need to do. Let me tell you, you can get so many plants this way, and it's not hard. Even trees like these magnolias, I have grown, 3 years ago I grew some from seed, just like that, and they're now 8 feet tall. So it doesn't even take that long, even for big stuff. And it's certainly a worthwhile project, and it's a ton of fun. It's a lot of fun to do with kids, because there's sort of a connect the dots about where the seeds come from and what they turn into. It's a great nature lesson, and it's just enjoyable. And you really feel a connection to what you're growing. It's a lot of fun, and you know exactly where your plants are and where they came from and how they got there. I recommend it to anybody. If you like gardening, you'll want to subscribe to this channel. We showcase gardeners, plants, and the sheer joy that growing can bring.